By far, the most important document you need to fill out and fill out correctly in order to get your commercial loan approved is the personal financial statement. Now, you're probably not going to geek out over it like I will, but I want to tell you right now, if you're actually going to fill this thing out, you need to fill it out correctly. The lender's not going to help you. If you fill it out incorrectly, it has a 100% chance of screwing up your loan from the very beginning. So you need to learn how to fill it out correctly from the very beginning to make sure that your loan has a great chance of getting approved. So no one teaches you how to do this. I've learned this through trial and error and talking to hundreds of lenders, but there is a correct way to do it and an incorrect way to do it. And I'm going to show you the correct way to do it right now in this short little video. If you need more help, go to my website for additional resources on how to fill this form out, as well as others that the lenders need to get your loan approved. So hold on one second. Let me share my screen. I'll go this video real quickly. All right, folks, right here we have the personal financial statement. Key one on this is every single lender on the planet needs a personal financial statement filled out as part of their application. The first key that you need to know is take this Excel file and save it to your desktop. And that way you have a working copy. The second thing you need to know is how to fill this thing out correctly. So the first part right here, I'm gonna blow this up for you guys. First part right here, as far as your personal information, individual one, individual two. This can be you and a spouse, it can be you as a significant other, it can be you and co-borrower. If you're going to save this, I would hold off on putting your social and driver's license information in here until you actually have a loan to apply for. All this is pretty simple. What's your name, address, city, state? This is not easy to go to do, but here's what you do need to know is don't fill out the page one first, fill out page two. And what you're going to see here is the form goes from most liquidity down to least liquidity and debts. So I'll give you a key here on the cash and cash balances. If you have multiple accounts at one institution, just put that institution there. Account types like checking, maybe checking and savings, and the balance. You don't have to individualize every single account number and all that unless the bank wants you to or the lender wants you to. In that case, you can just put on the side over here, just in this document I've got, is just move my logo over and then put in see attached and see, and you can attach all the forms there. What they do need to know is if it's pledged or encumbered by any kind of covenants from a lending institution. This includes checking, savings, CDs, all that. What you need to know is if you do have any kind of Bitcoin or crypto, I would put that in here as well. Number two, schedule two is, schedule three are marketable and non-marketable securities. If you need to know what that is, that's over here on the right. I've got a link in here to go show you what those are, what to go look at. Again, back to what do you need to put in here for quick and easy for your application. You can just put the gross amount of your shares in descriptions as like stock, bonds, all that. So you keep the stocks and bonds together in different forms. And then current market value. And again, is it pledged? Do you have any kind of margin account on there? And then I put over here C attached because you want to attach those forms to be able to give proof whatever account is holding that those stocks and bonds, Fidelity or whatever, that you actually have those, and they can itemize what your cost basis is and how much the value is. Number three is schedule three is non-marketable securities over here, and most people don't have those unless they're U.S. savings bonds, private shares, private placements, all that. These things are held to maturity, so these are rarer now, but you can put those in here as well. Again, back to anything that's pledged. Life insurance. This is what screws people up the most. So down here is the insurance company and who the beneficiary is. But the face value, this includes just what the death amount is. Cash values, if you have cash as a whole life policy. And then back over here is our loans in here, and then anything pledged. So it's okay to have all this value out there, but if you actually pledged it in some kind of collateral pledge for another project, the lender needs to know that as well. In real estate, this is stuff that you've held in your own name, not necessarily an entity. And over here in my Excel, I put notes. You can actually put your own little schedule real estate owned and note side that is owned maybe by another entity. If you have a whole bunch of real estate that is owned by entities, then you do want to fill out a special schedule real estate owned. I do have another form that I can send you on that, or part of my course to help you understand that. But for your private residence or a vacation home that's owned by you individually, then you just put those in there in the form below. If it's a private residence, obviously there's no net cash flow. It's on a yearly basis. Just put 0. But that'll kind of help you out there. Vacation rentals, all that go under other scheduled real estate owned. And again, you just put aside or see attached if you have that much activity. And if you don't have a spreadsheet, and if you have a lot of activity, don't have a spreadsheet, then shame on you. You need to get that scheduled real estate owned formed to track everything. And then down here is like notes payable for your loans. And this is your debt reported for your credit cards that you don't pay off on a monthly basis, for your cars, your leases, all that. Student loans, if you have anything there, or any kind of private notes, you put that in there, as well as the kind of collateral. Some that's insecure or unsecured, you put that in there. Number of dependents and the ages. I mean, all this stuff is pretty self-explanatory. You draw up will, who's the executor on that. That is part of the file. You don't necessarily need to do that right off the bat. Just keep this for yourself. If you do apply for a loan, they need to know that in case something happens to you. They have a form on file to call the executor of your will for any kind of, obviously, like legal and asset protection. They need to know if you're a defendant in any kind of lawsuit. This includes divorces. Describe that. Any kind of bankruptcies. Obviously, those need to be known, and when those happen, and if you're out of bankruptcy, and then if you are part of a executive officer of a bank or principal shareholder in a bank, then you do that as well. Now, all this on mine flows over to page 1, and it automatically adds up there. So all these flow over from schedule 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 as far as your assets and liabilities. So it's like your personal balance sheets, what PFS is: assets, liabilities, and then cash flow. But all these flow over from page 2 over into page 1 to give you totals on that. Anything that's like an other asset, you may have, let's just say, gold, silver, other precious metals, anything's of value that you would consider in your house as far as paintings and all that, just lump in here as far as assets. And then, if they want to know about it, just put a little note out to the side. Contingent liabilities is the one that gets people the most. Are there guarantees or endorsers of notes? If they sign other things, they need to put that in there, because that is sticky. Those promises are legally enforceable, and that bank needs to know about that. I'm not going to cover all that in this video, but just know, like, if you are, do you have contingent liabilities? If something happens, then this happens. You need to put that in there as well. Income, sources of income. So do you have a W-2 job, or wages and salaries for you and your spouse? Are there any kind of bonuses, commissions that you received on an annual basis? And, that have happened over the last couple of years, or promises to you interest and dividends from your stocks and investments. Rental income and expenses, that's obviously can flow over from the notes section or schedule listed owned. Any kind of partial draws, and then any kind of annual gifts made from a trust and all that. And then over here, this flows over from page 2 is the mortgages and rents, all debt services. And then that lender needs to know about your state and federal withholding taxes that you're withholding. Any kind of insurance, especially insurance that you have out there, alimony, anything other than that, as far as a monthly expenses, they'll add that up. And that's how you basically get your personal balance sheet there: assets minus liabilities, and then income minus expenses. Now the catch-all over here is the notes. You can obviously, the great thing about Excel is you can add a page here, but notes is where there's any kind of like story you want to go tell. Or, I mean, in this thing, you can put out the side. So you want to this is a people get kind of caught up like, hey, here's I can only draw within the lines. This is your document. You can actually put as much information in here as you want. I definitely recommend adding notes. The more notes that you have, the explains things, the better. Even sometimes I'll put in a blueprint of entities, like a holding company, who owns what. That way that the lender can kind of see your thought process and follow the train of thought there. So anyway, that kind of gives you a high level idea of how to fill out a PFS correctly, and give you the best shot at getting your loan approved and not basically tanking it right off the bat. If you guys need more help, you can go visit my website, billybrown.me, click on the link called The Investors Capital Group, and you'll find a link at the bottom to go look at my course that has all the other documents you need to go fill out, plus basically 10 other courses on how to go get your loan approved faster when it comes to commercial lending. So hope this helps, and reach out with any questions.